ever. I had to go to traffic school, and they talked about this behavior. So there's 3 kinds of behaviors. There's the child, there's the parent, and then there's the adult. So the child, they're the one that's wild and being crazy, right? They're the ones that are more likely to being the insulting one and do something like that. Then there's the parent who goes, well, I need to teach you a lesson, so I'm going to insult you back. Right? But if you're the adult, you handle it like an adult, and you squelch the whole conversation.
Right.
I don't appreciate you talking like that, or or just don't get so mad about it.
I not respect. It's like I understand you feel that way or think that way, but it's not my way, right? Like that's the whole thing. It's like this is my way. This is how I feel. This is how I think, and I think of it this way because of these things. So it really is. You can't argue with you can't fight with someone that's not fighting you. You know what I mean? They're just saying what they believe in and what they think, and I think that, like we said, is like taking things personal. It's something's wrong with that person. You know, you don't take it about you. Don't make it about you. Just speak your mind and say what you need to say, and hopefully that leads to some kind of opening of understanding
and
right? I mean, sorry, the pepper got me.
Yeah, that spice. So the spice is really good. It had a nice like smoky flavor to it, and it's got. You said pepper was in it.
Yeah. It's like a smoked pepper of kinds. But,
Ann Coulter wouldn't appreciate it, but no, Ann Coulter.
Well, she would. She said diversity is the only thing good is food, which she's not half wrong about the food being good.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, like we had talked about this episode, is the what's going on right now with the children being removed from the homes and removed from their parents. And I can't give you stats and statistics, but what I can tell you is when I came to the U.S., we came, obviously my dad had come with a job and blah, 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 blah. And we ended up being illegal at one point, considered illegal status, right?
Okay.
For a very long time, actually. And I don't remember, I was a kid, so I don't remember the ins and out of like the legal part of it or anything. But I know that we were considered illegal immigrants at one point, right?
Okay.
And I just remember as a kid seeing things on TV and hearing things, not even from my parents. And when I left to go to school sometimes, or my parents went to work, the fear of not seeing them again.
Yeah.
Okay? No child should ever have to fear that separation from their parents. That's some Gestapo stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to compare it to like something that is obviously at a different level, but the emotion is there of separation, of abuse, of just panic of thinking I might not see my parents again.
It's scary.
And I don't think any child have to watch TV right now and see that going on, because it is going on. I'm not saying take it off TV because they don't need to see it. I'm saying it shouldn't be happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're a civilized nation and we can handle this situation in a way that's not traumatizing a whole generation of people, and not only traumatizing, you're talking about radicalizing people as well, because if you take a kid from their parent, you're changing that child's mindset about the system. You're changing the mindset about the way they are as a person, and it's just a trauma, and I don't wish it upon anybody. Just think about it's like I always think about Matthew McConaughey in that movie, A Time to Kill. Where he goes like, sometimes I just think we need Matthew McConaughey going around going, all right, imagine this is going on, taking your, a child's taken, blah, 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 blah. Now imagine it's your child, or that child's white, or that child's an American child,
Yeah.
So that you can actually relate to it, so that you can actually say, wow, that's horrible, If you need that, then we're going to contract Matthew McConaughey to come to your house and tell you that, because I think that is what you need to be doing. Think about your child. Think about your life. And don't tell me, it's their fault or this or that. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. This child does not have any say in all this, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what the parents did. I don't care what you're saying because of the parent. Well, it's the parents. Well, no, we're talking about the child, right? The child has no say in any of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're making that decision. You're deciding that this is the way we need to handle things. So I think that take a good hard look and take a look at how you would want to be treated.
I was wondering, what does some people in America have to say about that, because you go online, you could find somebody and they share their opinions. And I looked at places like Yahoo and Fox News and Breitbart, and I can't speak for everybody. I could just tell you what I read. And what I read is that people have this idea, well, their parents brought them here illegally, and these kids are being held, and the place they're being held is not bad. I'm going to read you a quote that I got from one of these articles, but they're being detained while the parents are dealing with legal issues. And as far as they're concerned, once the parents are released and the kids given back to them and sent back out of the country, if they want to try coming in here legally, that's another story. That's their heart. That's what they're saying. But I'm going to read this thing here. This is from Neil Monroe, and he writes for Breitbart. And he's got this article, Never Trump, Mike Hayden, Trump's border policy like Nazi slave labor camp. So Michael Hayden is a 4-star U.S. Air Force general. He was the former director of the NSA and the CIA. And he's an independent. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. But he came out and he compared with a photo what they're doing with these kids to the Nazi Germany camps. And so this is something that this guy, Neil Monroe, said. He said, so far, Trump's policy is sheltering roughly 2,000 children in facilities away from their detained parents. In contrast, Hitler's wars killed roughly 30 million people and smashed up numerous countries. And it's, like his comparison in this sentence is not even touching on what the issue is. But let's look at the word sheltering. Roughly 2,000 children, right? They're using a terminology, sheltering, which is a very it's not like cold.
It's double speak. It's just saying trying to
purposely using a word to make it so it's not so bad. And this was accompanied. This article was accompanied with his
like
video.
A verb. It's a verb. They're sheltering the children,
right?
Showering them with gifts and
love.
love.
So you've got Michael Hayden. He's got this picture of the old Nazi Germany camp, and then this guy Neil. Neil, he put up a video of this facility, and if you look at this facility, it's like these nice beds with brightly covered sheets, and it looks like a place like, well, if you're going to be kept somewhere, then it's not so bad.
Right,
I mean, you're getting juice, and you're getting all this food until your parents deal with whatever they got to deal with. It's not so bad. And that it detracts from the main issue of your kid has just been taken away from the parents.
Right.
That's the issue.
Right. And we're not talking about someone like a parent that is abusive to their child or is doing drugs.
Yeah.
Beating their child or anything like that. This is
They're
parent that is escaping something or just traveled from one landmass to another.
Yeah.
From one area to another. This is their crime. From going one area to another. Right, that you can have your laws and things that but that is in essence the crime.
Yeah,
is traveling from one place to another place that at one point used to be called something else. That at one point or another used to belong to other people. That at one point or another those people were killed or massacred by somebody else. Right. So if you put it, remember we were talking about context in the break. Putting things into context, I say. There's this sense of entitlement that people have that I don't understand where it comes from. Because if you say, well, I'm an American, my parents made this country, did this, you're taking credit for your ancestors.
Yeah.
Like, and your what their accomplishments were and what they did. And the minute you say, then are you responsible for slavery? Whoa. Or are you responsible for the massacres of the Indians that were here before, the Native Americans, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, that has nothing to do with me. That was ages ago, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. So how come you get to cherry pick?
Right.
What privileges you have in this land? Why do you get to say, like, well, I get to be more American and tell other people where they should be or where they should not because my parents were here and they built this country and this is not. Okay, all right, so you get credit for that. And then you're going to also have to make reparations for all the things that your ancestors also did, right?
Yeah.
So, but you don't want it. So it's either take one or take none. Either say, I have no other privileges in this land than anybody that other comes here, right? Or say, I'm going to take all those things, I'm going to take the good, and I'm going to take the massacres, and I'm going to take the genocides, and I'm going to make amends for them. So this is what I ask. Take responsibility for one, or say we should all have the same privileges here and work together to make sure these people have what they need, which we can do 100 million times over,
Yeah.
So
all right, let's end it here. I think it's great because I can go on for another hour,
right.
And we're trying to keep this podcast down. So next podcast, we're talking jobs and wages.
Okay.
There's nothing to see.